everybody, it's Susan, and I am here today with a tag video from my good friend Lizzie over at Carnage Candy. I will link her in the description box below. She came up with the vampire tag, and she was inspired by our pal Queenie Todd, who created the werewolf tag, and I'm not sure whether this one will go up first or second. It just depends, whatever my phone and the internet want to upload first with my Wi-Fi, but I am doing both of the tags. So this is going to be Carnage Candy's vampire tag. So here we go. I had to write down the questions because, as we all know, high production value here. I use my iPhone, so I can't pull them up on my phone, so I had to write them down. The first question is, what is your favorite vampire film and why?
This is so hard.
Honestly, like for me, it has to be between The Lost Boys and Dracula. And it's really hard for me to pick one because they were both really influential to me. The Lost Boys profoundly affected me as far as vampires are concerned. The scene with the Chinese food turning into maggots, like I didn't eat Chinese food for years because of that. No joke, everybody. And I just felt that it really portrayed that kind of scary yet enticing attributes that vampires have. So, and then of course Dracula, because it might have been the first vampire film I saw. Because, you know, Universal Monsters films were shown on television during the day or the afternoon. So as a kid, I saw a lot of those when I was very young because they were, you know, family viewing appropriate. So I'm really not sure if that was the first one that I saw, but obviously Dracula is a classic, and, you know, just that transformation into a bat. I know, like now you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, but it was just so fun, you know, and so I really enjoyed it. Question number 2, are vampires better than werewolves? You guys, I could really go on and on and on debating the pros and cons of vampires and werewolves. I mean, vampires, you know, you've got transformation, in another form, you know, transforming into a bat. You've got that kind of immortal being. Vampirism is kind of romanticized in cinema, and it's made to be very sexy. So, you know, there are all those pros, but there are other cons as well. And then werewolves are just completely badass, and, you know, I'm a big fan of four-legged creatures. So I really, oh, you guys are gonna think I'm just so terrible because, you know, I couldn't pick just one on the first question, and now I'm just kind of like,
Are vampires better than werewolves? You know, guys, I don't know.
I really can't say. I mean, honestly, if it were like a showdown, I kind of feel like a werewolf would just, well, but then, you know, the vampire could turn into a bat and fly away. I can't say, you guys. I can't say. I mean, I have seen a YouTube video where a guy was standing in the woods. I think he was playing a guitar or something. All of a sudden, a bat comes out of nowhere, bites him, and flies away. So, you know, I feel like they're a good match. I feel like they're like Elvis and Anne Margaret, you know? You can't pick just one. I mean, they're like perfectly paired. So, yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna have to say both. I love them both. Question number 3. Who is the most brutal vampire in film? Most brutal? But I know that Fright Night kind of freaked me out. I know that a lot of the vampire films that people have said had the most brutal kills. I didn't see. I mean, question number 4. Favorite vampire transition? Honestly, I think in Fright Night, and I forget her name, but I'll put it here, I think that transformation freaked me out. I saw that when I was young, and that was just crazy cool. So I'm probably gonna go with that one. Question number 5. What is the silliest / worst vampire film you've seen? I'm gonna answer them separately because I love silly vampire films. What We Do in the Shadows, Suck, Once Bitten. I'm all about the cheesy vampire films. Bring them on. As far as that's concerned, that's no shade to vampires because any cheesy horror movies I'm gonna love. It's just in my nature, I guess.
Because I'm kind of cheesy.
So as far as the worst vampire film I've seen, I would have to say, and I did not see any of these in their entirety, but the Twilight films. Okay, if you're a Twilight fan, bring on the hate in the comments. Vampires do not sparkle, okay? And I just am not a fan of the franchise. I just feel that that was like a huge letdown for representation of vampires in film. And that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Question number 6. What is the best vampire comedy parody? What We Do in the Shadows, epic. I absolutely love it. And again, I previously mentioned like Once Bitten and Suck. Those are a couple other favorites of mine. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, I have massive love for that movie. Question number 7, what was your first vampire film? And I kind of almost answered this earlier, and I think that it was Dracula. I'm pretty sure that it was the original 1931 Dracula. I am pretty sure of that. If memory serves me differently between now and when I post this video, I'll correct it and amend it and put it in here. Question number 8, who is your favorite vampire, real, fictional, or both? Sorry, I'm falling apart here. I hate to answer the same on a lot of these things, but Dracula just has a piece of my heart. Just something very endearing about Dracula to me. And so I would have to say that he's my favorite vampire. Okay, so those were my answers for Carnage Candy's vampire tag video. If you haven't already done this tag, I will put the questions in the first comment or in the description below so that you can do this tag if you would like to. If you do, let me know so that I can check it out, and also let Lizzie over at Carnage Candy know so that she can check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and stay spooktacular.